Hello friends, in this video we will see another problem based on the direction and distance set. So this kind of problem is going to be very important. Actually this is considered as one of the different method in the direction and distance set. This is not like the previous questions. Okay, so here let us assume a person is started from the point and he moved south 10 kilometers, and from there he took the left side and tried and traveled 20 kilometers. From there again he took the left turn and travelled 30 kilometers and travelled 30 kilometers. From there he took the right and travelled 20 kilometers, and again he took the right direction and travelled 10 kilometers. From there he took left side and travelled 30 kilometers. From there again he took the left side and travelled 40 kilometers and travelled 40 kilometers. Okay, from there he took the right and travelled 20 kilometers. From there again he took the right and travelled 60 kilometers. From there he took the right side and travelled 20 kilometers. Now we have to find how far he is from the starting point. So now we have to find how far he is from the starting point. So how to solve these kind of problems? To solve these kind of problems, we have to find the distance he traveled in the horizontal direction as well as in the vertical direction. Okay, the distance he traveled in the horizontal direction as well as in the vertical direction. Okay, so let us assume this is the starting point. So now we have to find the horizontal distance he traveled and then the vertical distance. Maybe this is upward direction or maybe it is a downward direction. Okay, so then we have to find the distance from this starting point to the ending point, or the case may be here or the case may be like this. Okay, so this one or maybe this one case will be occur. So this distance will give the actually how far is from the starting point at the end. Okay, so now let's see how to find this horizontal distance. So in our case, note down all the horizontal distances he traveled. So this 20 kilometers traveled horizontally, and here this 20 kilometers traveled horizontally, here 30 kilometers he traveled horizontally, and here this 20 kilometers traveled horizontally, and this 20 kilometers also he traveled horizontally, right? So from horizontally, if he is moving from west to east, so these are the directions, right? So this is north and this is south, this is east and west. So if a person is moving from west to east, we take positive. If the person is traveling from east to west, we take that one as a negative. So to calculate the potential distance he traveled in the horizontal direction. So he traveled, this one is from west to east, so I take this one as a plus 20. And here also he traveled west to east, so again I take this one as a plus 20. Here 30 kilometers, again he traveled from west to east, so I take this one as a 30 kilometer plus. And here also 20 kilometers he traveled in the same direction, so I take plus 20. And here if you see this vertical, he horizontal distance he traveled in opposite direction, that means east to west, so I take this one as a minus 20. Okay, now 20 is cancelled, so now we got 30 plus 20 50, 50 plus 20 is 70 kilometers. So that means the potential distance he traveled in the horizontal direction, that is from west to east, is how much? 70 kilometers. So that means actually from the starting point, so he traveled east, okay, east 70 kilometers. Okay, east 70 kilometers he traveled from the starting point. Okay, so now we have to find the potential distance he traveled vertically. So whenever he is coming downwards, so that I will take as a negative. That means if he is traveling from north to south, you take that one as a negative. If he is traveling from south to north, so you take that one as a positive, right? So this one is downwards. From first point, this one is a downwards, and this one is upward. Vertical directions only I am taking here, and this one is again downwards, and this is upwards, and this is downwards, right? So the first 10 kilometers he traveled downwards, so that's why I am taking minus 10. Again this 30 kilometers traveled upward, so I am taking this one as a plus 30. And after that this 10 kilometers he traveled downward, so again minus 10. and here 40 kilometers is traveled upwards, so that is plus 40, and here 60 kilometers is traveled downwards, so that is minus 60. That's going to be equal to how much? So minus 60 plus minus 10 or minus 80 plus 70, so that is going to be minus 10 kilometers. Minus 10 means what? Actually he's traveling from north to south, so that is downwards. So that is downwards. So that means actually, so in the potential distance traveled horizontally is 70 kilometers, vertically he traveled 10 kilometers. Minus 10 simply shows the direction. Okay, so that is downwards, right? So that means from the starting point, okay, the distance he traveled horizontally is 70 kilometers, vertically is 10 kilometers. So now to find how far is from the starting point, we have to find this distance. We have to find this distance. So here it is making 90 degrees. So it is a Pythagoras. Let us assume this is A and this is B, this is C. So now the distance from the starting point gives AC. So then according to the Pythagoras theorem, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So AB square is equal to how much? 70 square. 7 square 4900 plus BC square 10 square is 100. So that is going to be AC square is equal to 5000. So then AC is equal to how much? Then AC is equal to under the root of 5000. So 5000. So this is 100 if you take outside, then it is going to be 10 root 50. So the 50 can be written as 25 into 2. 25 into 2. So if you take 25 outside, that one will become 5. So 10 into 5, 50 under the root of 2 kilometers. Under the root of 2 kilometers. So that means the person is how far is from the starting point? He is 50 into under the root of 2 kilometers away from the starting point. Okay, so he is actually 50 into under the root of 2 kilometers away from the starting point. So whenever you got this kind of problems, you have to find the potential distance he traveled horizontally and the potential distance he traveled in the vertically, and then you take both of them as the two sides of a right angle triangle, and then you find the diagonal distance, and thus will give the distance from the starting point to the ending point. Okay, so I hope you got this one. If you have any doubts, please leave a comment. So thank you very much for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel.